welcome. It's Ralph here from Beyond the Huddle, and today I want to talk to you guys about why I believe that the altcoin season may actually be approaching. So if you guys stick around, you're going to find out what important levels are being hit to make me think that, how I'm actually deriving that idea, and we're going to take a look at some past examples to prove to you guys that this indeed is what led to the altcoin season. So stay tuned. So to get started, I want to take a look at this currency pair that I created here on TradingView, and you guys can do this as well. Just simply go into your little search bar here and type in total 2 divided by BTC USD. You can use BTC USDT, it really does not matter, and then you're going to press enter. So once you do that, I want you guys to go to the monthly chart, and now you're not going to be able to get the exact indicator that I have here because it's one of our own indicators here at Beyond the Huddle. But it's called liquidity pools, and essentially what it does is that it marks out important levels, highs and lows on that specific time frame that we have found to be important. And once those levels get rated, right, so that's the liquidity pool idea, then we want to look for a rejection. If the rejection happens, then that means that it should create a pivot point in the market for the market to reverse and go the other way. This is very crucial for you guys to understand, and very amazing once you do understand it. These are the highest of time frames. You can do this for any time frame. You're going to see me do it on a weekly a little bit later, but essentially what the screenshot that you guys saw here was me understanding that this is an important low in the market based on a monthly time frame, and we're actually reaching that right now. Okay, so if we go down to our week level, you can see our weekly chart, you can see that we hit that level. And remember, this is the strength of the total 2, which is the entire altcoin market excluding Bitcoin, divided by Bitcoin. So we're comparing it against Bitcoin. Okay, so when you see that, it's essentially telling you if the chart is going to go higher than the top, so think of it as a fraction, the top part of the fraction gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the bottom side gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? In this specific case, because we're comparing all the altcoins against Bitcoin, you would not want to be holding Bitcoin, right? Because the entire market gets larger and larger and larger because prices go up, and then Bitcoin in ratio to that will go lower, lower, and lower. Now, this has nothing to do with directional bias, and that's one of the biggest things you guys need to understand, okay? So when you see this going higher, it does not mean the market needs to go higher or lower. It's just telling you, is the altcoin market going to outperform Bitcoin on the way up, right? If Bitcoin, because Bitcoin controls USD prices, if Bitcoin goes up, coins go higher, right, in USD terms. So then what this is saying is, okay, those USD terms, they will outperform. Now, if Bitcoin goes down and this goes higher, that means the altcoins will lose less than Bitcoin, okay? And on the other turn, if Bitcoin goes lower and the altcoins, this right here, goes lower as well, that means they will outperform to the downside, or I guess they'll lose more, okay? That's how you guys can picture this. So now that we understand how it is that this works, well, let's go take a look at some examples so you guys can get to see why it's so important that we're taking out this monthly level. Now, we already talked about this one when the video started, but as you guys can see, the one in the picture that I had here was from 2021, okay? Now, this was a really clean and easy one. You could see that in September 2020, we made a high and we started working our way lower. So what should I have been thinking? Well, the first thing is, as the price went lower, that means that the altcoins are going to either underperform Bitcoin if the market rallies, or they're going to fall harder than Bitcoin if the market drops, okay? Keep that in mind. Write it down, do whatever you have to, because you have to understand this is not a bias tool. It's just a strength indicator, right? A way to gauge strength. So then look at what happened, right? We took this one out. Again, on a monthly time frame, no reversal, and then we took this one out. When we took the second liquidity out, right, that could tell us that that's an important level we should have been paying attention to. The market closed above it. So then now when January started, we would have been thinking to ourselves, I wonder if the market is actually going to reverse. Do we have some sort of support? Are other tools telling us that we're expecting an up move? Well, wouldn't you know it, you should have. And then we took out one more liquidity one last time, which is not a big deal. By the time the candle closed, now look at this. That means that the market, every altcoin on average, right, because this is taking the entire altcoin market excluding Bitcoin, it outperformed Bitcoin from January 1st to May 1st by 273%, okay? So that's what the average alt did. So as long as you bought any altcoin, you basically did whatever Bitcoin gained. Let's just say Bitcoin, gained 100%, you're going to add 273% on top of that. Now again, if Bitcoin lost 50% or 100%, then you would just subtract that from this 273%, right? Which would still equal out to a net positive, but you guys get the point. So now that we've seen this, again, you guys can go, I don't want to make this video too long, but it's a very exciting time right now. You can see right here how when we hit it, only this month in May closed above it, and then we ended up losing the support level and going lower. So that's fine. Then we would have known that A, the altcoins are going to fall harder than Bitcoin if Bitcoin drops, or B, if Bitcoin rallies, we should just be holding our Bitcoin and not any altcoins, because the average altcoin would not outperform. Now, that is not to say I can't go find an altcoin that will outperform, right? Again, we're talking about what the average alt will do in this scenario. But on my next video that I'll make, either sometime this week or sometime soon, I'm going to go into details on how to choose the specific alt once you know what the macro of the market of the alts against Bitcoin are doing, right? So for example, in this specific case right here, you can see September 1st of 2019, we had hit our, in August, we had hit our important level, closed above it. So that means in September, we would have been looking for some sort of really strong support for the next impulse leg higher. Look at this, 50% move higher. So then what I would do is I would go into the individual altcoins and see specifically how they're looking. And again, I'm going to make a video detailing all these steps and how to do them in a future video, hopefully sometime this week. It's already Wednesday, so maybe tomorrow or Friday. Again, we'll see what happens depending how my schedule looks. But nonetheless, you guys would have seen that this right here, ever since September 1st of 2022, obviously we had these 2 up weeks, 2 up months, but you would have been very careful to imagine that the altcoins were going to, in general, outperform Bitcoin, right? By the time December 1st came, look at this, straight down 7%. So the average alt underperformed Bitcoin by 7%. By 8% here. Look at this, we actually had an average altcoin outperform Bitcoin by 1%, and this was the massive one right here that we've all seen. So let's bring 2 screens right here. If you guys have seen Bitcoin the past, so this is January right here, you can see Bitcoin went up 39%, okay? That's really nice. You can clearly see that it just barely outperformed every altcoin. They underperformed by 8%. And the one that really shocked me the most was this one right here. If we go to our weekly chart, so now we're going to look at some weekly liquidity pools, okay? And the one that got me and was this one right here. You can see right here on March 6th, we rated an important weekly level that our indicator here caught. And then basically what it was telling us is, hold up, pump the brakes. You should not be thinking about buying any altcoins. Let's focus on Bitcoin. And look at this. Bitcoin outperformed the average alt by 14%. If you guys don't believe me, go check it out. Go compare on March 13th, that week, what the average altcoin did compared to what Bitcoin did. Now again, yes, there will be some altcoins out there that did outperform Bitcoin, and that is what my next video is going to be about, finding those altcoins that whenever you're bullish on Bitcoin, it will still outperform. But again, you cannot go wrong by just being nice and easy, holding onto your Bitcoin and gaining 26%. You can see right here that next week after that is still outperformed. The next week after that is still outperformed, and of course, this one should be fresh on your mind. Right now, Bitcoin is absolutely destroying a lot of the altcoins. But, and that is the big but here that I'm getting very excited about and hoping that we do see another altcoin season, because it is going to be wonderful. If we can find a close above this monthly liquidity level, obviously then we should want to go above this weekly liquidity level. So maybe it'll take 1 or 2 weeks to go back above these levels and form the low. But we want to pay very, very close attention to it. Again, this has nothing to do with bias. I do think maybe once Bitcoin hits this weekly liquidity high, we could find some rejections or something. But yeah, guys, very exciting stuff. I hope to see you guys around in our next video. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss it. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.